¡Un forastero!
So if you caught the video that we made yesterday, we spoke about how Ken Hughes built this bottom six in a cave. Hence the Iron Man imagery, which I'm very happy to have been able to put together. But we are going to continue our conversation on the Montreal Canadiens, their forward core, and ask who it is this team was missing at. Because it turns out, this bottom six, well, there's always room for improvement, right? So, what I want to bring our attention to is article posted on The Athletic. It's on The Athletic. The Athletic is paid for material. So if you have a subscription to this website, you can go out there and click the link in the description. You can read the article yourself. But if you don't have a subscription, we have ourselves an article on HabsFanatics.com that goes out there and gives us the scoop as to whom it is the Canadiens are linked to. This article will also be in the description down below. It's written by Elise Edmondson. The Montreal Canadiens are linked to a two-time Stanley Cup champion who could be a perfect fit. Let's scroll down and take a look at the scoop. Montreal-based journalist Arpon Basu has just raised the possibility of a trade involving the Habs and the Calgary Flames. It already feels like the deadline is approaching, and Ken Hughes isn't done shaking things up. Just a few weeks ago, the Canadiens brought Philippe Deneau back from LA in exchange for a second-round pick. The Canadiens were looking for help down the middle, but even with that addition, there is still a chair to fill in the lineup. Not a star chair, but one that brings energy and grit. That is exactly where Arpon Basu dropped a name that's getting people talking. Basu was the name that wrote about Montreal in this Athletic article, and he went out there and said the Montreal Canadiens nabbed number 9 on the list when they acquired Philippe Deneau from the Kings 1 hour before the holiday trade freeze. But they still have trade capital, and Blake Coleman plays a hard game. He kills penalties. He can push in on the power play, and he has Stanley Cup pedigree. But the real beauty is just one creation of this one, sending us the goal, breaking down and going in position. By 2027, 2028, the Canadians triple their through to overstay explosions. But for them, they are such a small, so, yeah. Once he's upgraded on this, transport on their suit, books, get on throughout the Canadians, it is not how this flames. All that started on your heels, this is just amongst the knowledge to understand. He carries a $4.9 million cap hit, and his contract expires this upcoming season in 26-27. This season is in Calgary, and he's got 21 points in 42 games. During the month, he's scored roughly 26 goals. If you go back to 23-24, that season he had scored 30 goals in 78 games. A true calling card. This article was out there in the sense the Canadians wouldn't just be buying goals. Coleman has already won the Stanley Cup twice, in 2020 and in 2021. So he knows what it takes to play when the pressure is on. In a young locker room, that kind of experience always carries weight, especially when you're aiming to go on a real run. The other angle is Calgary. The Flames are stuck in a tough race in the Western Conference. If things continue to slide, the idea of turning a veteran into draft picks becomes logical. Montreal, meanwhile, has flexibility with its picks and prospect pool to build an offer without emptying the cupboard. Is this an idea thrown out there, or a file that could gain momentum? So, I wanted to talk about Blake Coleman a little bit. Calgary Flames forward, winger, 34 years old, sub 6 feet, 198, a left-handed guy with one season left at 4.9 mil. We all recognize that Blake Coleman was never ever like a top-of-the-line player. I mean, he was a 20-30 guy in New Jersey, ended up sent over to Tampa Bay, and was performing there, but he won 2 straight Stanley Cups.
Well, there's no use standing
Two seasons ago,
around.
he did have 54 points in 78 games with the Calgary Flames. Zach was at 32 years old. This year, he's showing no signs of slowing down as he's on pace for a better season than he had last year. He isn't scoring as many assists, but he is putting the puck in the back of the net in for a Calgary team that has been steady in most of the time. He is pretty used to like this. But for Blake Coleman and his recent on the Montreal Canadiens, we did speak about this in the Iron Man video yesterday, that this team and this bottom six is already looking really strong. Between Alexander Texier, who technically isn't a bottom six player anymore, Sammy Blais, and Philippe Deneau, alongside Brendan Gallagher, his old buddy, things are looking really good with how the Canadiens are just working through their systems and their process. But the question still remains. What happens when any of these guys come back? Jake Evans, Alex Newhook, Kirby Dach, Josh Anderson, Patrick Laine even. The Montreal Canadiens have almost an entire top six worth of players available once their injury bug clears up. But for Blake Coleman, he would be an extra one of these guys to have added more pressure on those in the Canadiens organization to one-up each other to fight for roster spots. If you have this pool of guys, and you have this pool of guys coming back, plus a Blake Coleman, it becomes a lot more difficult to make decisions as to who is in and who is out, and that's a good thing. Because for Montreal, right now, I think we can all agree this is an opportunity for them to prove themselves. Use the veteran leadership that guys like Deneau, Gallagher, Anderson, and Coleman could provide. Cultivate the next generation of Montreal Canadiens hockey that's going to continue taking this team from what is currently 7th overall in the National Hockey League into being a consistent top team. Blake Coleman would add to that, and if the Calgary Flames are in a spot where their team is starting to falter down the ranks a little bit more, they were last place in the NHL just a little bit ago, but they ended up winning some games, which is why they're no longer dead last. Blake Coleman, though, he's on the third line with Coronado and Mikhail Backlund. Backlund was hot a little bit last week, but he ended up cooling down shortly after. Blake Coleman, as we had said, he's on pace for a good amount of goals this season. He's on pace for 25. So there's a lot to like out of Coleman, despite the fact that he is technically a third-line player. He is listed here on the top PK. So if Montreal would want to get a little bit more solace with the absence of Jake Evans, you could have Philippe Deneau and Blake Coleman. That'd be pretty good, I'd say, on a penalty-killing unit. The price, I'm not too sure what the price would be. Maybe a first, maybe a second and a half, maybe a nice prospect or two. The Montreal Canadiens have enough young guys to make something work, I would say. So it fits in general. But with that in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you think about a Blake Coleman trade to the Habs? Obviously, the Canadiens and the Flames, they're playing together later today, so we will have a first-hand look for Montreal fans to see what Blake Coleman is all about in today's contest. I want you to let me know your thoughts. How do you feel about this trade idea? Articles are going to be linked down in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this British Astrals 99, and bye.
Trade with confidence with their easy-to-use direct investing product. So analysis tools to benchmark.
All right, we're back playing or died like the beast in 2026. My goodness, where did the time go, right? Holy. Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. I really just covered this game and also all the side content. Just feels like it matters in this game. Whereas other games, not so much sometimes, but hey, my views, all that's been so consistent, it really means a lot to me. And if you want more, just keep it up. All right, fam, what's going on? Let's go and get this. All right, we're both back. The play right now, covering this game. Well, it's 26,000 recording this, but it's wild. I really do cover this game, though. It really means a lot to me to record these extra videos. The bait's already been up for a while, but, you know, I'm enjoying doing this extra stuff. I want to get 100%. I feel like maybe close, I really don't know. It's not a major update every single time I record this game. Recently, last week was like a 1.4 update. Shots 1.5. I'm not even for the end. We're going to show you what I'm doing really quick. Alright, so we got 3 side questions. That's all we have. There's also, what? Another question mark there. It's not really a quest, though. Yeah, we got the exclamation point there as well. Trouble in Paradise. We'll do as big as I can in this video. We'll see. Why not dead beats is the first thing he's just right over here. Some of these.
Welcome back. Alright, so 10 games to make the National Hockey League, and I'm recording this during the intermission between the second and third periods of both Columbus, San Jose, and Boston and Seattle. So we'll go ahead and review the first 6 games now, and then I'll review the other 4 when those games are done. And then that way the review goes up a little bit earlier. Of course, talk about the standings as well. We'll start things off with Vancouver and Buffalo. I'll also mention too, Christmas stuff. People and I are talking about when we're going to take that down. It's been busy. Obviously, the schedule busy. All right, let's get into this. Vancouver, Boston, or Vancouver, Buffalo. Demko versus looking into this one. 2:01 in. Buffalo opens the scoring. Thompson with a wrister from the slot, Byram and Power with the assists. Later on in the period, the Canucks get a power play, so Buffalo scores on it. McLeod wires one on a breakaway from Tuck. The assist to Tuck. McLeod with the goal. That's at 11:24, makes it 2-0. That lead holds through 20 minutes. In the second period, almost halfway through the game at 9:37, Tuck buries a net feed to make it 3-0. The assists to Byram and Norris. So Byram with a couple of helpers. That 3-0 lead holds after 2. Third period at 6:13, Metsä, 27-year-old, gets his first NHL goal.
Prevent top residents with the power of finished Jetford.
Good on him. He rips this one from in close. Malenstein and Greenway with the assists. So that makes it a 4-0 lead. We then get a 4-minute power play for Vancouver, though, and during the first 2 minutes, at 10:17, DeBrusk buries a rebound in close for his 10th power play goal on the season. Sherwood and Besser with the assists. They do kill off the other 2 minutes, but at 15:16, Elias Pettersson makes it a little closer, turns and fires one from the slot. Besser and Kane with the assists. So it's 4-2, and then at 15:55, Ogren goes 5 goals past the screen to make it 4-3. Marcus Pettersson and Linus Karlsson with the assists. So the Sabres call a timeout. Eventually the Canucks pull the goaltender, and Josh Doan hits the empty net just after the goalie's been pulled at 18:36. So it is a 5-3 lead and a 5-3 win for the Buffalo Sabres. After their 10-game winning streak was wrecked, the Canucks helped them get back on the right track. Your 3 stars are Tuck, Byram, and Metsä. Shots on net, hit 14-9 Vancouver in the first, 7 apiece in the second, 14-4 Vancouver in the third. Final shots, 35-20 for Vancouver. power plays, 1 for 4 for the Canucks, 0 for 1 for Buffalo. The hits, 17-16 in favor of Vancouver. Demko saves 15 out of 19. Luukkonen saves 32 out of 35. All right, next up, Colorado and Tampa. How important is Gabriel Landeskog to the Colorado Avalanche? I think we're starting to find out. So it's Wedgwood versus Vasilevsky. They had a nice ceremony beforehand for Cooper's 1,000th game as a coach for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Shots are 6 apiece with 8.5 minutes left. It was a pretty even game. And then, with 1:46 left, Tampa gets a power play. They scored it. At 19:47, Gensel. He had time to look around and pick a spot, too. So not great PK work here. The assist to Kucherov and Granish, so it makes it 1-0. That's our lead after 20 minutes. Second period, at 3:22, Parker Kelly ties the game. Bardakov and Soloviev with the assists. And then at 9 minutes and 30 seconds, on a rush, Brock Nelson goes glove side from left circle. Makar with the assist. Colorado wins their first lead of the game at 2-1. But before the period is out, Tampa would tie it at 17:22. Jurgensen sticks in an empty. Yanni Gordon with the assist. We have a 2-2 tie after 2. Third period. Colorado had chances, but at 8:31, they had the right circle. Wait for time, but it's throw to the future on the assist. I didn't call on the goaltender. I was waiting for the side, but Cirelli had a plan. 18:35 hits the empty net. Hagel and Radish with the assists. Makes the score 4-2. Colorado loses back-to-back games in regulation for the first time this season. Again, is this how important Landeskog is to this team? 3 stars are Kucherov, Hagel, and Jurgensen. Shots on net, 12-7 Tampa in the first, 13-10 Colorado in the second, 13-6 Colorado. Power play goes for 2 for Colorado, 2 for Tampa. The hits for Tampa. Wedgwood saved 24 and 27. Vasilevsky saved 31 and 63. Hurry, thanks to the Anaheim Ducks, the Philadelphia Flyers, the Flyers, Harvard looks games get to just and then at 4:15 on that power play. Better negotiating is very popular in Philly and champion. Thanks to Southern. You think that's what they were champion. Don't correct me in the comments. Don't do that. Thank you, guys. Negotiate from Lacombe and Terry at 4:15 is a 1 penalty right circle. 1 on the internet. Answer. And then one larger. Former Flyers, maybe not. Later on in the period, the power play up the Seekers basically scored from the same spot. So this other one was great. This one wasn't quite as sharp and able. So unfortunately, for the 2 Seekers puts on their security and assists. And they're going to period. That is pretty fun. He did the doing scoring for the game. He was good the assists for 5 minutes. Once he gets a 5-minute penalty for a good advance on one, it was, and it's obviously going to be very difficult. He got it off, then he got the pressure that it's 13 to space off. Then he was going to get to the 17%. In the third, on power play, they get on score. Pretty good tonight. And just I had to rank it again. Stupid we get 45 seconds when I think of Kelton. The minutes, steady against the box, so going forward to the front of the 1846 for many games. Yeah. So, Make the round 4 5, see the thing with fire. 3 shows is dangerous. 2. 18 5 to the thing. We'll consider it. 3 is one of the combo. The next one all right, 11 carries 3. Players can only If the door down starts, take over it. So, yes, I just didn't look at it when we get Proctor. They're not going to just come through all these goals, but the 5-1 lead is formed after 2 periods of play. And 36 seconds in on a turnover, Branston buries the net drive chance. Robert, New Jersey and the Islanders. Oh my gosh, this just, I don't know what the ratings are going to look like for this game for ESPN. I got to be honest. Larkin versus Stroke, and I'm wearing the garb I'm wearing because this was ugly. And I'm wearing Islanders because, hey, you know, you kind of got to. I had some debate tonight about whether which jersey I was going to wear tonight. So I thought I'll wear Islanders and just go with the fact this was ugly. The ugliness starts early. 1 lead in. Barzal with 1 timer from left circle. What was the first shot on net? That's a harbinger. The assist to Pollock and Schaefer. So they're up early, and at 4 minutes, Duclair goes far corner and Russian was the 3rd shot on net. Pollock with the assist. Here we go. ESPN shouts all the time. I had to put that on. There's times where I have to mute a broadcast because I feel like they're just way over the top. Like they've just been eating nothing but pixie sticks for 4 hours before the game. They're just hyper. But then either way, they don't want the pixie sticks. You like that? Then at 13:31, what was only their 4th shot on net, Duclair scores to make it 3-0. Cizikas and McWarden with the assists. So I got through all the shouting. It's 3-0 turn. They were still shouting in the 3rd period. I'm like, guys, settle down. The game's already over. 2nd period. 3:29 minutes. Crosby's passing in. Duclair scores from Barzal and D'Angelo. That makes it 4-0. It kind of reminds me of the Simpsons with when Smithers was at the truck rally. He's like, why are we pattering these people? They're already here. What did to stop it? Anyways, 11 minutes and 12 seconds, Holmstrom buries one from the side of the net to make it 5-0. The assist to Barzal and Pollock with 40.5 seconds left. The Devils get a power play, which does not matter in the slightest. We go to the 3rd period, and 1:34 in, Cizikas decides, I'll do it. He buries one on an end-to-end rush. That's the kind of game this was. Cizikas buries a goal on an end-to-end rush unassisted. Then at 11:28, why not? D'Angelo gets in on the action. He gets a goal. The assist to Duclair and Shabadon. And then late in the game, they just keep pouring it on, which I think irritated the Devils. But if that irritated the Devils, they could have tried playing better. At 18:36, Richie buries one via a 2-on-1 rush. D'Angelo playing with the assist. And then at 19:02, Cizikas scores from Duclair and Mayfield. This is after I already just said, okay, well, that's got to be it.
Managing your expenses all starts here. With a low interest rate, the TD Low Rate Visa Card is a smart way to help find some balance. TD, ready for you.
Save up, treat yourself. Introducing the new Burger King $2, $3, $4 deal only at BK.
Now, I had an 8-0 score on the board. I had to go back and change it to 9-0 because Cizikas got another goal. 9-0 win. 9-0. It's the worst loss via a shutout that New Jersey suffered since March 31st of 1986 against the New York Rangers. I got that tidbit from Chris Johnston's social media. Had to put that on the board. The Devils really hit bottom tonight. This has to be bottom. You cannot get worse. Technically, you could, but how? So the 3 stars are declared Sorokin and Barzal. I think it's remarkable that it's 9-0, and you can justify getting goaltender one of the stars. Because let's talk about the shot. 15-7 New Jersey in the first, 19-10 New Jersey in the second, 10-7 New Jersey in the third. Final shots is 44-24 for the team that had 0 goals. Yeah, just bothered. On the power play, the Devils had simply scored 7 in the top. That's 16. This 15 for New Jersey. Mark Thursday, 15-24. Left for the Wolves. On his year, just past Roscoe's against them on 13 periods. Like, I would have wanted to win the last period. Sorokin saves all 44 for the shutout. So he's great. Yeah, New Jersey just. I kind of feel like, you know, it's at the bottom of the and Tony, he said, yes, guys, we're all straight. We're all teammates. We need to be there for me. Show them, you know, that they do this. They misunderstood, and so they were all Luke Houston. They all screwed up the same. Just to show, hey, kids, we're all that. Not what you're supposed to do. All right, moving on. The Florida Panthers and the Toronto Maple Leafs, Bobrovsky versus Wall. They had a nice ceremony for one person for the top ceremonies, and then Toronto just doing the period. Johnson won for 4 minutes, and the play was going at 1936. Eastern County scored in the 2-1. Here's this to Robertson and Block. So nice going from bottom 6 there, and it's 1-0 Toronto. Second period, 42 seconds in, 9 seconds on the go. Center and Marcus and Census. Then 4-1. The Rogers scored for 5. But it's a strong first period score with half a second left. After taking this game, strong play. 3 in Toronto, they try to kill that in the 5th period. And they do. It stays 3-0, so we're going to past the halfway line. 11:30 for Kane. Plans behind the goal line. 3-1. Goalie pull out to the 3-1. So 48.9 seconds left for the Colts. I'm going to discuss that one. The benefits they have to get from the walk and they scored again. They beat it 4-1. So Florida rolls up on beating the Colorado. It's tough. Happy. 3 stars. Matthews, Guys, and Wolf. Draws on them. And the second 18-6. Final drop is 1-3 for Florida. Power play over 3 for the Panthers. Well, defense 31-1 for Florida. Bobrovsky saves 19-1. The ball was fantastic. 31 save on 32 shots. Now we got to go to 1. Oh, great. They're shooting. Yeah. Vegas. And on the draft, Parsons the foul on Henderson. Early Vegas power play versus the steps for that point. The drop was base board. The second game the series is 1-2 back up to the direction. Murray gets Lawrence first, and he did not get good. He was the second player taken off the ice on stretcher. So after that, those are to be the hospital. I always have played forward there, so there's one opportunity after the first, but it was 7 Johnny minutes into this game. Like I said, those started to drop. This was like, I saw this social media experience. Murray was taken to the hospital. He is responsive. He is awake, so that's pretty good. And mobile checking to see how many exists in the market hobby. So one of the left period. Vegas gets power play more quickly. At 19 stone, pass the bucket is the north staff to a 3 as a bottom of the so again, it's 30. The top 45 the big bucket. Boss has passed the mid now just going to the total.
They're tough residents with the power to get together. Which one you're mistaken, but to get my visits to basement 52, finish before the business with those streets and ones, you know, it's in parts to get back.
We have results 2-2 tie and Hill. In 1456, Connor Brooks 20th Hawaii assist. The one pace coming up there, space moving because the Brooks but at 55, so 59 seconds later. This one is by 83. Stop with the assist. It's 53 tie. You go to overtime, and this is where Vegas spends most of the game. It's an overtime. The chance to control over the chance gets back. That's their back to Marty McCall. One. Barrett has a breakaway shot save. Vegas draws power play. The referee for Lee starts again. And it's 4:47. Arnold has one in finisher. Brickles pushing home to win it. Arnold making the assist. Vegas has one for the big 1-3 overtime. This 2. Shots on net 6-5. Vegas to the first 8-4. Vegas to the second. But at any rate, let's go ahead and move on. And we'll discuss the Nashville Predators and its owners. Saros versus Anchor at 8:53 for the first period. Davis not messing around. He goes beast mode on the net where I just puts this through the Saros. Bouchard and Drysdale get moving around Saros. Bouchard and Drysdale with the assist, so at 8:53, Davis deserts himself, and it's 1-0 Oilers. Second period, McDavid recorded a penalty shot and scores on it at 15:53. So McDavid with 2 goals. The Oilers up 2-0. And seconds later, at 16:42, the Oilers make it 3-0. Lazaro puts in a rebound from both Savoy and Janmark with the assists. And if we start getting more depth scoring from the Oilers, that would help. Then in 18:52, the Oilers would score yet again. Kapanen scores from Drysdale and Podkolzin. So Kapanen returns to the lineup, he gets a goal, it's 4-0 the Oilers, now 6 scores in 20 minutes. Third period, the Nashville Predators make it a little closer. First, O'Reilly chips over to the side of the net, 3:48, taking eventually some of the assists. And then at 4:03, Blankenburg card went past the screen to make it 4-2. The assist to former Rangers property Reed Schaefer. So it's 4-2 until 13:45. Draisaitl goes 5-0 from the inner slot. Kapanen and Podkolzin with the assists. And then late in the game at 19:03, it is the hat-trick goal by McDavid. Nugent Hopkins and Ekholm with the assist, so it's a hat-trick for McDavid. It is also the 500th assist in the career of Brian Nugent Hopkins. And it makes the score 6-2, which is your final Oilers big win tonight. Your 3 stars at McDavid, Kapanen, and Draisaitl. The shots on net favored West from 12-9 in the first, 16-7 in the second, and 15-10 in the third. Final left 42-26 in the Oilers. Power plays Nashville 0-2, Everson 1-3 against 17-15 Nashville. Saros saves 37 out of 43, Ingram saves 24 out of 26. Alrighty, next up. Columbus had good moments in this game, just at the end. Regenda at 19-11, so Regenda scores again. He burns from the left side of a 2-on-1 run. Whatever gets a fully with the assist, I would say based on my first fight, I think they should have given him this expansion before the season against Derry. It's 1-0 San Jose got 2 scores for 20 minutes. Second period is 4-14 on backhanding close. It's Weber. I thought it was celebrating at first. Weber. Weber gets this one from Macklin to Normal. The Landry then gets shaken off the exits. He did not return to the game. In 1915, so last minute of the period, Columbus makes it a little closer. Moransky goes post in right circle. Baranov and Marchenko with the assists. We then had a fight between one game and 2 guys who know how to fight. Yeah, so it's 2-1 after 2 periods. I'm sure that will be a Reeves fight. That footage is going to be used in a lot of places going forward for the rest of the season. Third period, Ken Johnson's robbed on a fast break, and he spanked his stick against the boards after that. In fact, the shots were 12-4 for Columbus with 9 minutes left. But at 15-16, it's a backhand on a breakaway. Zach Stapchak gets the second, and it's the second this season. Makes the score 3-1, and then less than a minute later at 16:05, it's Monahan. On a rebound from the doorstep, he scores. Bobrov with the assist, so makes it a 3-2 game. Goalie Cole happens with 2:18 left, and at 17:46, Mario Ferraro gets the empty net. Wenberg with the assist there. They pull the goalie again in an 18:31 celebrating. He gets it, so his point streak reaches 11 games. The assist to Graff and Ferraro. So Ferraro had himself a game. The San Jose Sharks win 5-2 in this one. The 3 stars in Nedeljkovic, Weinberg, and a stat check. Shots on net, 12-10 Columbus in the first, 17-6 San Jose in the second, 18-9 Columbus in the third. Both teams had 36 shots. Power play 0 for 3 for Columbus, 1 for 5 for San Jose. Hits 20-12 for San Jose. Reeves saves 31 out of 34. Nedeljkovic, very good night for him, 34 saves on 36 shots. A lot of these were very close to the net, so net had quite a game. All right, next up, last game of the night to discuss, Boston and Seattle. And I did maybe chuckle a little bit that, when I was doing the first four, I was like, there's no 80s games tonight. Well, I mean, there could be an 80s game. This was it. Swayman versus Court. There's a post for Stevens in the first minute. We then get a minute and 52 seconds of 5-on-3 for the Kraken, if that's too much. And at 8:50, Everly chips one in from beside the net. Beniers is done with the assist. The Bruins do kill off the 5-on-4, and then
The Real Deal is on. Find new deals every week at our best prices.
Since the 1980s, KMS Tools has provided the largest selection of name brand tools and equipment to our customers. Find the right tools for your job, from the brands you trust or know best, at any of our 14 locations and online. Whether you're a seasoned expert or looking for advice, our knowledgeable staff can help you find exactly what you need to get the job done. Start your next project with a trip to KMS Tools.
at 12:47, Pasternak scores from Zadorov. He scores from the right circle on a home run pass from Zadorov through. It's 1-1 at that point. Pasternak scored through the first period. Second period, 2:48 in. Berkeley catches an all-around, and he finally gets his first NHL goal. Puts it in for short angle on rush. Pierre McCann with the assist. Kraken has the lead back to 2-1. But not long after, at 6:28, Boston ties it again. Broadstreet passes it in, and it's Pasternak from McAvoy and the Lions to the top. So 3 Olympians from 3 different countries combining the goal. But late in the period, Sam gets the lead back. 18:23 Myers goes short side from the slot. Cartier with the assist. There was 1:21 left. There's a power play from the Kraken, and they scored it in the very last second at 19:59 again from Donovan Beniers. I felt like that was one swing that he had to have, and it's just play homework kind of thing. But either way, that makes it 4-2 for Seattle after 2 periods of play. In the third, Melancon's denied on a breakaway, but then at 10:21, so just past the halfway mark, Chicago buries one on a cross-ice pass off the rush. Goudreau and Stevenson with the assist, so it's a 5-2 lead. Then at 14:20, it becomes 6-4, and it's 7-2. 6-2 on the Chicago goal, then 7-2 on the Canada goal on the power play. Bruce one from the doorstep. Goudreau and Chicago with the assist at 14:20. It's hard to keep track of the score sometimes when I'm doing this. You guys notice when I do the reviews if there's a lot of goals, I kind of stop getting the score for a bit, and now you know why. However, the Bruins would get that lead at 14:50. Lower right puts one through a dog pile and close. Zacha and Arvidsson with the assist. The Bruins would then get a power play, and they go for it. Arvidsson at 17:46 scores from Middleton and Steves. They would pull the goaltender, looking to get a little closer, but they are unsuccessful. So the final score in this one is 7-4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have the 7th goal on the board, do I? There was an empty netter. I didn't get him up bad hockey guy. See, if I had the wrong number of magnets on the board, that would cause that problem too. Pablo hit the empty net at 19:48. That made the score 7-4. I'm looking at these, looking at some going, something's wrong, something's missing, something's wrong. Yeah, the empty net goal, I missed it. So Pablo gets that at 19:48. Bad hockey guys. The 7-4 wins for Seattle. Boston finishes the road trip 2-2-1. Your 3 stars are Patton, McCann, and John. Shots on net, 7-5 Seattle in the first, 7-4 Boston in the second, 4-6 Boston in the third. Final shots 36-27 for Bruins. Power plays 1 for 3 for Boston, 3 for 4 for Seattle. The hits 24